Hello, welcome. I'm Hannah, and today I wanted to do most of a full face with you. I have a couple objectives today. I want to do a holiday eye look. I am going to use a bolder lipstick today. I'm like, what can I do for my eye look that's not colorful or even dark, but is statement making and will go with the lip? And what I came up with was dimensional. So I want to do like a really layered, shimmery, neutral look and see how that goes. Just like pile on the indie single shadows onto my eyelids. And then the other thing is that I was gifted this beautiful little gift set from Merit, and isn't that so... I don't know if I could ever take these things out of the box because it just looks so nice. So I want to try on all of these things. I actually have used all of them, but I want to put them on along with you. And thank you so much to Merit for sending these over and working with me again. I did see that this set is sold out, which is a bummer because I think it's a really special little set. They do have a tab on the page where you can put in your email to be on the wait list if you are interested in it, but I saw on their Instagram they said it's not coming back. So that's a bummer, but we're going to be using it today anyway because I have it and I'm excited about it. And a lot of the products in it are available full size if you are interested in them. I want to quickly mention that I have an affiliate link for them that I'm going to put down below, and it would mean the world to me if you were interested in these products. If you used my link, that would be so cool. They have free shipping over $40. And your first purchase ships with their signature makeup bag, which I think is just so absolutely chic. It's like this little corduroy warm tan pouch. I've actually seen people on Instagram using this as like a little like going out clutch. The thing I like about it so much, besides the fact that it looks chic, is that you can throw it in the wash. And most makeup bags I have, they end up getting like gross and crusty and there's no return. And this, if you have a little spill or normal wear and tear, you can just clean it and it'll stay good as new. So I think that's cool. I have 2 steps I want to quickly do before we get to the eyes. One of them is putting on this serum, which was one of the things I was most excited about from this set because I saw other people talking about it and I thought it just looked so chic and lovely. This is a sample size of their Great Skin Instant Glow Serum, and it has niacinamide, 4 types of hyaluronic acid, caffeine-rich cocoa seed extract, and Japanese gold thread root. The thing that I like about this, just from my couple times using it, it is quite oily, so I try to like squirt it downward. I like that it's hydrating, and I can use it before makeup. It's skincare, but it doesn't feel like a heavy nighttime skincare product that I can only use before bed, which is how I use most of my skincare, or like all of my skincare. And also, I mean, I guess this wouldn't be a selling point for everyone, but I like that it says that it's for dry, normal, and combination skin. So they don't recommend this product if you have oily skin, and something about them being a little bit more tailored with it makes me excited. Do you know what I mean? I feel like some products, like skin products or even hair products, when they're like, this works for everyone, I'm like, it probably doesn't. Or if it works for everyone, maybe it doesn't do so much because people have very different needs, you know? So like that's an oil, it hydrates. And I'm someone with normal to dry skin, and I feel like it gives me a little bit of hydration without giving me so much oil that I feel like I have to go to sleep after I put it on. I do feel like with skincare, with like the claims and stuff, if you've watched any of my empties video, I say the same spiel every time. It's really hard to tell if skincare works for you, works for me. And when people sit down and they're like, I just started using this product and it changed my life, I'm always kind of skeptical because it's like, how do you know? Did you really keep everything constant and then use that new product for like 8 weeks to see if it worked? You know, like I feel like it's hard to understand results from skincare, but I can tell you that this doesn't irritate my skin and I like the immediate effects of working with it, which is a slightly hydrated skin that works well under makeup. And it does feel like I'm treating my skin nice to use some actives in the morning and not only at night. Let's zoom in because I want to do my brows now. I feel nude without my brows on. So they have this brow product as part of their permanent line, except in this set, it's in the shade Neutral, which is just a clear. And I believe in their permanent line, they only have shades. I think there's like a blonde, a brown, and a deep brown, something like that. And I'll tell you, I've been in a same brow routine for a really long time. Usually I just use powder on them and I call it a day. But I have been experimenting with this past couple days, and I think it's really nice. And I am happy that it's in this neutral shade. So what I've been doing, instead of using my powder, I've just been filling in with my Anastasia Brow Wiz. I plan to try this with powder also. I think in the past, I've strayed away from using powders with like clear things on my brows because the clear things end up getting really like gunky and gross. But I'm determined to stop caring about that because like what does it matter? And also along with that, I like that this is a solid colored tube. So if it gets all like gunky from your brow products, you don't have to look at it. I haven't cleaned up my brows in a really long time. I was just reflecting the other day, I don't know if this is TMI, that like, I feel like my unibrow doesn't grow in anymore. You know, like my whole life, you just have like the little hair sticking out there. I'm like, when's the last time I even tweezed those? But I guess out here still needs a little lovin'. But you know how like people over tweeze their brows in the early 2000s and then they stop growing? Like, did I over tweeze my unibrow? But like by over tweeze, I just mean tweeze the right amount and then the hair follicles are like, fine, we get it. Okay, so pencil in. I didn't say this, but also the thing that I like fundamentally about a clear brow product is like, I feel like the tinted ones, and I could just be projecting, let me know if you think otherwise, but I feel like the tinted ones are for people that have like perfect brows and they just want to add like a little color to them. Do people use tinted brow products like after doing like their full fleeky brows? I wonder. So this is how she looks. I like the size of the spoolie. And I'm just gonna brush them up. So there's the difference between the one that's brushed up and the one that's not. And I like it. It feels comfortable. I have the Anastasia Brow Wax, the one that's like in a little pot. And I never use that because it really feels like I'm putting glue in my brows. And this doesn't. This kind of like feels like conditioning. I don't know if this would work for someone that has like super long brow hairs that you need to like glue in place. I mean, maybe it would. You'd have to find someone else who has that's reviewing it. But I can say for me and my needs and my short brow hairs, it feels comfortable and I think it looks nice. And next time I'm definitely gonna be trying it with my powder. Okay, I primed my eyes, and I'm just going to start out with a light transition. I'm just using everything from Looxi, which is one of the shadows that I picked out in my little custom 9-pan, if you saw that video. In real time, I just posted that yesterday. Just something light and high to get us started. The only other matte I want to use, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Bourbon from Looxi and just put that on the outer edge, even though I think a lot of this will be covered up. The next deepest shade and our first shimmer, it's going to be Adorbs from Looxi. This is like a really pretty reddish bronze. I'm going to put this on the inner and outer. And I'm not going to worry too much about placement because this is going to be covered up. And I want them to feel kind of like random in a way. I just figured that starting with these darker ones will like add some depth like deep down there, and maybe like that'll add to the effect later on. I'm gonna go over the lid next with Starburst from Looxi. This one is more golden. This would be really pretty to just stop here also, but I don't want to. And then let's do Unexpected from JD Glow. That's when we start to get a little bit weird, because this one's kind of like a little bit more of like a grayish tone. But that's what I want. I want it to be different undertones all layered on each other. Cool. Opulent from Clionadh. Air Glow from Devinah. I'm gonna go right in the middle with this. I think we're almost done. And I also do have Pancake bubbles, and I'm gonna put on the inner corner and kind of bring that in over the darkness on the inner lid. But I'm gonna wait until I have my base on to do that. Okay, yeah. Let's quickly go through my base. I almost never do my base on camera because it's very similar day to day, but I think every so often we could do a little check-in about that. I am using, because it's daytime, a sunscreen, and I have a couple from Supergoop, and I'm trying to use up this glow screen right now. I do like it, but like it's small and I've had it for a really long time, and I think it's a little bit more watery than it's meant to be. So I'm kind of trying to like pan this right now and using this in place of my regular unseen sunscreen, which is like my go-to for like my during the day primer, aka sunscreen. But I could see myself purchasing a full size of it in the future, but just, yeah, this one I think is quite old. For my foundation, I love the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk. This is my go-to. I always love how it looks on me. And for concealer, my Tarte Shape Tape. And I blend that in with my Sigma F80 brush. It is interesting how personal foundation is, because I've heard so many people like poo-poo on this foundation, but it just works so well for me. I feel like it gives a little bit of coverage while still keeping my skin looking like skin. And a big important thing for me with foundation is how it wears throughout the day. And I feel like this one has good staying power, and when it does start to fade, it fades in a very even, natural way. I think it also has to do with the coverage of it, because if you have something full coverage that's going to kind of like wear off during the day, you're going to have drastically different skin colors over the parts like spackled on and the part that's like natural skin, you know what I mean? And I feel like this one like really teeters the line really nicely and just always looks natural on me. No complaints. I recently used up my one and only bronzer that I had in like its own pan. So I've been working on using up this Charlotte Tilbury Film Star. This is like a mini one. I bought this years ago. I think I bought this in 2020 and like never used it up until this year. It's not my favorite. Like I feel like the bronzer goes on so light that it's like, did I even put bronzer on? But maybe that's good, and maybe you could see it in person. It just like on camera it doesn't show up as well, and in person is my priority. Okay, I am gonna be going in with a cream highlight, so I want to do a little bit of a cream blush. I don't always do that. I go in with powder half the time that I'm doing a cream something else, but today I figured we'll do cream and cream. So this is the Natasha Denona Puff Paint in the shade Tan. It's very serum-y, and I like it. I also just like the idea of this like natural tan cheek to go with this look, especially because we're going to be putting color on the lips. I guess I'll use bronzer for my nose though. I usually go over my like top of my nose, like I just got like a little bit of sunburn with my blush, but I've never figured out the right way to do that with a cream product without it just looking like harsh and splotchy. So I'm just gonna dip back into my bronzer for that. Oh, that's pretty harsh. I never use this brush. I did forget to powder my under eyes. I have my Patrick Star One Size powder that I hope to finish up soon also. And I'm also gonna go over that little nose blush situation. Beautiful. So here's the story. This kit comes with a full-size Day Glow highlighting balm. It's in the shade Bounce. I have the shade Kava because when I did a video with Merit earlier in this year and I was able to pick out 2 products that I wanted to feature, I picked out this product and I also have the lipstick in the shade Baby. I'm gonna link that video down below in case you're curious for more of my thoughts on these products. But I did say in that video that I felt like this shade Kava would work for a wider range of skin tone than it appears because it doesn't seem to have a base. So that's interesting. When I saw that this new kit included Bounce, which is darker, let me open these up. My first thought was this definitely won't work for me. Kava is the shade for me, but I tried it on the other day just to see, and it did work for me. And I think it's the same thing of them just not really having a base, so they glide over different skin tones. And it does make sense because it seems like in this kit, they've purposely chosen products that don't have a skin tone that they go with to make this set more applicable for more people. But I was just surprised. I feel like Kava is like translucent with like light sparkles within it, and I feel like Bounce is translucent with just more golden sparkles within it. Because even in that swatch you would think it might not work for me, but like on my cheeks it worked for me. That's really interesting. So I'm just gonna go in on my cheeks and blend it with my fingers a little bit. I really like these balms because they give like a really nice natural finish on the cheek. I'm pretty strict nowadays about my highlighters, and if you look at me from the front and I see darkness, I'm like, they're out of here. I'm done. I'm not wearing that. So I think this is so pretty that it's like a really natural sheen, and it just like picks up the light because it is dewy, but it also doesn't feel dewy after you put it on, which is a big no-no for me as well. So that's interesting because I wouldn't have guessed that this color would work for me, especially knowing that the lightest color works for me. Cute. Also, in that other video that I did, after I put on Kava, I layered an eyeshadow like high up on my cheekbone, which is something that I like to do here and there, and I think it's a cool look. But we do have more going on in the eyes today, so I'm going to leave the cheeks as is. And I really like the juxtaposition of something more bold on the eyes and just like soft, pretty, natural skin. So that's what we're going for. We're moving on to the lower lash line, and I'm just going to pile up a couple of these again, starting with the transition, which was everything from Looxi. I'm gonna go in with the darkest one, which was Adorbs from Looxi. I'm going to use Unexpected from JD Glow. And Air Glow from Devinah. And I am going to blend over that a little bit with, what was that called? Starburst from Looxi. Just because sometimes I feel like if my lower lash line's too light, it doesn't give me like that under the eye definition that I like. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of that dark brown matte and just kind of like scoot that over everything. Yeah, I like that. Cool. And then I'm gonna take Pancake Bubbles from Devinah. We're gonna use that on the inner corner and just extend that a little bit both ways. I'm tempted to also like pop this in the center. I might actually do that. Just like where the light would hit it, just give it like a little bit extra dimension. Cool. I actually did a test run of this the other day, and I think this is more intense than what I originally did, but I really like it. And that's something I kind of like about this eye formula, that like I did it the other day and it looked different. And I could do it again tomorrow and it'll still look different. And I think that's cool. I'm going to quickly apply my eyeliners. I have a black that I tightline with. And for my waterline, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Walk of No Shame liner. Okay, so this set comes with a deluxe size of their mascara. And let me tell you my thoughts about the mascara. I like something that is really bold and chunky. And this mascara is very natural. I think it does a lovely job of like coating them black and separating. It's a very clean look, and I think it definitely goes with the whole vibe and image of Merit. But I think this is like the point where my vibe and Merit's vibe kind of separate a little bit, because I love the like simple, streamlined, neutral face and everything like that. I love their idea of kind of like, they don't use the word glamorous, but I think of it as kind of like glamorous minimalism when it comes to face products. But I am a maximalist for the eyes, so I tend to like my mascaras to stand up against my bold eyeshadow a little bit more than this one does. But I will say, like, it doesn't flake or smudge, which are like instant no-nos for me. I wore this the past couple days and it really wears very lovely. And because it separates so nicely, it does work well for me as a nice like first step mascara. And then I'll use another mascara over it, which is something that I do tend to do quite a bit. I often have two mascaras open at once, and I go in with one and I go in with the other. I also could see this being a really nice mascara if you aren't wearing eyeshadow, just because it is so like separating and clean looking. Like, it's not smudgy, it's not overly wet. I could also imagine that if I have a more professional job soon, which I might, I could imagine throwing this in my work makeup bag, and if I do my makeup on the train, putting this on, because like I want to emphasize how easy to work with it is. You know, it's not that it's bad, you know, it's just made for different needs than what I have. So I will use it, but it's not made for me. The last product, you might argue, is the star of the show. This is their signature lip in Aperitif. And I feel like Instagram is kind of buzzing with this right now. It's a really pretty color. It's really pretty. I love the Merit insignia on this. You can see I've already worn it. I like this formula. I have the shade Baby from when I did a video with them earlier this year, and that lipstick has been in rotation ever since. I recently did a lip declutter that I posted maybe for you last week or something. I decluttered most of my like funkier lipsticks because a lot of them were very old, and I have a very concise collection right now. I have a hot pink from About Face. I have a burgundy from Patrick Ta. I have this true red from Give by Gwen Stefani, and I'll show you Aperitif next to it. I don't know if you get the full effect from the bullets. Maybe not. This is Aperitif. On the lips, this one comes up a little bit more like sheer and a lot more orangey. And I feel like it makes like a really nice little lip wardrobe. Like, it doesn't feel like it competes with my Gwen Stefani one, but it just gives like a little bit something different. Let's put it on. I'll show you what I mean. My one complaint about the signature lips from Merit, which I voiced last time also, I feel like I can't get the most precise edge with this tip, because it doesn't like come to a point anywhere. With Baby, that's like no problem because it is a color that's like pretty close to my skin tone. This one is a little bit more off, so I'm just gonna use it like a nude lip liner because I feel like that helps. I don't have a red, I imagine that if I did, I could use that and it would make the lip look a bit bolder. But it's so pretty. Are you ready? Isn't that lovely? It's looking very corally on me right now, but I feel like it's kind of like everything at once. Like I look at it and I'm like, is this kind of coral? Yeah. Is this kind of strawberry? Yeah. Is this kind of like brickish? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I love this because it feels like a red without being like a bold in your face red. Like it doesn't feel as much as like that, like I got that red lip classic thing that you like. It's like I'm cool and fresh. I'm not doing a classic thing. I'm doing a cool me 2022 thing, you know what I mean? Sometimes I just say words and I hope they don't sound stupid together. But this is the finished look. I really like it. I really like the eyes. Let me zoom in on them one more time. Just a cacophony of different toned neutrals all piled on top of each other. For a dimensional neutral look that you can wear with a bolder lipstick, sign me up. I'm so excited about this look. I'm going to be wearing this. I don't know when. Do I have any holiday parties? I don't know. I want to thank Merit again for sending these products over. I am so excited that even me with my little teensy tiny channel, I occasionally get the opportunity to work with brands that excite me. You know, I wouldn't have accepted these products now or months ago if it wasn't products that I would be interested in purchasing on my own. I think it's really cool that they're willing to work with such a small channel and give me the opportunity to share these with you. I love how this is packaged up. You know, it's hard to talk about because it says it's sold out, but I imagine they'll come out with more things like this, maybe in the future, next year. And I think it's so giftable because it just came in like a little box with just this in it, you know? Like this like wrapped up in a piece of brown paper and it's like already ready for you. I don't know how I'm supposed to get rid of this box. I think it's so nice and I want to keep it. I also saw on their Instagram that they had a post about trying to find a red lip to go in their signature lip line because of the success of Aperitif. I hope they just keep Aperitif around. I love this shade and I'm definitely going to be getting a lot of use out of it. If you're interested in any of the products that I talked about today for Merit, I hope you'll consider shopping through my affiliate link down below. It would mean the world to me. It means so much to me anyway that you are just here watching this video. I really sincerely thank you for that. I hope you'll like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for being here. Bye.